I don't have a foot fetish. Hello and welcome back to the Shobocast with me, Paul.
I'm Dan.
I'm Cameron.
And I am also Dan.
And I was going to say, but
Today we're talking about Love and Monsters.
We'll get onto that.
I was thinking today we're talking about, and then I was going to say the news, and then I thought, no, that's not right.
Well, we are talking about the news in a minute.
And then I just broke.
Some good news for you.
And then Cameron said Love and Monsters, and I thought, that's it. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, today we're talking about Love and Monsters, a phenomenal episode.
An episode of television, yes.
Don't turn off before I've convinced you otherwise, though. Like if you're a Love and Monsters naysayer, you need to hang around till the end.
I can't wait to get around to this.
I'm so excited.
How have your weeks been?
Yeah,
right, yeah.
good.
I got to watch Love and Monsters with the promise of watching it again tomorrow.
We will get onto that, Paul. We will get onto it.
What else? I started watching Series 2 again. I listened to a War Master Big Finish, which was good.
Ooh.
You know.
I started watching Lucifer Series 5 earlier. That's out.
I've seen Lucifer.
Started watching Series 5, did you say?
Yeah, Lucifer Series 5, it came out today.
Oh, I thought you meant Doctor Who Series 5.
No.
I can only ever picture him as Gary from Miranda.
Yeah.
I can only ever picture him as that fella Martha wants to shag.
Is Miranda funny?
It
Depends
was
on your humour.
It was when I was 12.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I've not gone back and watched it.
Before we get into the news, before we get balls deep into some ballsy news,
Straight dive into the news. Balls first.
I listened to Beneath the Viscoid.
Yeah, that's what I listened to. The War Master.
What is that?
And it was so good. I think I'm going to buy the full set.
Same.
Yeah.
It's a free War Master audio.
Get it, it's free. Get it, it's free.
With Derek Jacobi. It's episode 1 of his box set. Basically, during the Time War, some planet uncovers the Master's body.
Yeah, don't spoil
alive,
it.
like
Don't
he's in like a
spoil
stasis
it.
pod.
The less
I'm
you
not
know
going
about
to know how to do this. So they uncover his body in like a stasis pod.
This sounds a lot like describing what's happening.
They get him out, and then antics ensue.
Yeah, they get into all kinds of scrapes.
Yeah, all kind
really
of.
good.
There's a Scooby-Doo. There isn't, because it's audio form. But
they play the radio music.
And then you've just got a picture of the Master running around.
That was the worst rendition of the Benny Hill music I've ever heard.
We all know that I'm not good at impressions, except for me Ryan one.
Even impressions of music.
I have a kazoo over there if you want me to play on kazoo.
Dan, isn't my Ryan impression okay?
Your Ryan impression?
Yeah, from Series 11 and 12.
See, you're such a performing monkey. I thought I'd have to bring it up to get you to do it, but you just straight up said, I've got a good impression.
I have.
So now you might as well do it.
You've got to bring it up because it's the only good one I can do.
Nah, William Hartnell's absolutely immense.
Colin Baker was pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Christopher Eccleston
leaves a lot to be desired. Oh,
come on, let's hear him. Let's hear Ryan Sinclair. Go.
Don't you dare.
Yes, you are so uncool right now.
Oh, okay.
Or I can do his other iconic line. But I got chips though.
Did he say?
Remember when he says that?
Oh, that was it. Okay.
But I got.
At this point, I realise Ryan doesn't have any really interesting lines.
No, he's got.
At this point, I realise my family come from South Yorkshire, and I am offended now.
Can someone do like pistol noises, but not like like okay. Call of Duty, man. It's another classic. Another classic Ryan line.
And on that bombshell,
the news.
Do you want to get into the news?
Yeah, go ahead.
News. So first of all, there's a Doctor Who. Have you heard of it? It's very good.
No,
I have actually.
Titan Comics are releasing a new new comic. It's
Really?
Yeah, I know. God,
Madness.
I fucked this one up, haven't I?
I've got used to the coffee tables they release. I don't think I can go back.
So team up between 13 and 10, and they're fighting the Sea Devils. And also it's set during and or after Blink. I'm not quite sure.
Does it
The
matter?
classic.
This is the follow-on from their last team-up, isn't it?
I think so.
This is a comic.
I didn't read that, but I really like this. It's maybe what to go back and have a look.
Yeah, there's been a 10th Doctor 13 team-up before, and from reading the press release with this, it sounds like it is a continuation.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, we've had the Weeping Angels, and now we're facing the Sea Devils, and there's an alternative universe Rose?
Yeah,
it seems to. So does the previous one go straight into Blink?
I have no idea, I've not read it.
Okay, then.
This is the
Moving on.
this is the comic they came up with using the and them formula. So they were like the 10th Doctor and the 13th Doctor meet up, and then and the guy was like, "Oh, the Sea Devils show up," and they were like, and he was like, "Rose is there," and then they were like, and then she's from a different dimension. And
looking at the different variant covers, it looks like it's the Rose from the
Stolen Earth.
Yeah, because she's got one of the big Cybermen guns. But that wouldn't make sense considering.
I guess I don't know if she just pops up and then fucks off. She can't meet the 10th Doctor, but she could meet the 13th Doctor.
She could.
I'm sure in I haven't read the first one, but I'm sure in that it's like we've got to dance around the 10th Doctor without interacting with him. And then they probably just bump into him and they're like, "Oh no, what are you?"
This will be the first time 13th has met Rose.
Oh, will they kiss? Will lesbians? Oh, fucking Reddit be like.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the show.
Also, the Sea Devils. That's cool. I want them to come back in the regular show.
Yeah.
Oh, we all
give them a redesign like the Silurians.
Yeah. Because wasn't it?
Sexy Sea Devils, please.
Wasn't it retcon that they were like related to the Silurians?
Yeah.
No, that's
I'm sure
always
there was
been
a third
thing.
species as well.
I'm not sure on the third series, but it's always been a thing since the Sea Devils were introduced that they're cousins to the Silurian.
Yeah, I remember reading a dictionary where it was like there's another one as well. But I can't remember what it is. I might have just got confused and thought it was the Ice Warriors or something. Because it's on like close planet.
Because there was an episode of Classic Who where they teamed up.
Warriors
the
of the
Silurians
Deep.
and Sea Devils. That one, yeah.
Let's not go there. that episode was the reason Michael Grade thought this show should be, cancelled. Because he saw I think it's called the Merca. Or the Mercra or something. There's a shot in that where you can see the actors in it. It's like stumbling around. It's very bad.
God.
And that he caught that on TV and was like, "Yeah, this show is." Like, he didn't cancel it there, and then obviously it went on for a bit longer. But that was the bit that made him think, "Why are we giving so much money to this show? Why are we bothering with it?"
What's the next piece of news then?
Next big news. There's a trailer been released for the 10th Doctor and 4th Doctor team up for Big Finish.
But they haven't released the actual thing yet or announced it. I when they do that,
What, when they release a trailer before a thing comes out?
No, because normally they just go. So this was a couple of months back now. Yeah, they went out in August, and I was like, "Nice one." And they just don't say. So every week, every single day of August, you're like, maybe today, and it's just never is.
Yeah, it's just got the vague month of August as the release date. Even I pre-ordered it the other day because I now have no money because of it. And even ordering it like 2-3 days ago, it still doesn't have a date.
No, it never does. It says August 2020 until the day it releases, and then it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
They just drop it out the blue. You'll be scrolling through your Big Finish, and you'll there's out of time. It's out.
But Time Lord Victorious has a date.
Yeah,
because
that's
part of the
very
crossover.
Specific. Everything about Time Lord Victorious is very.
Yeah.
And this, and then this, and then this.
every other audio just has like I pre-ordered the Fourth Doctor Sarah Jane episode that's getting redone, or like that was never made that they're making with Elizabeth Sladen's daughter, and it was like November 2021, and I was like, fucking hell, that's ages ago. But I've paid for that, so in about a year I'll just be like, oh,
you'll forget about
Paul. Yeah, it's basically free by the time it comes out.
It's like
long ago.
I ordered the Out of Time bundle, so there's still 2 more of them that haven't been announced.
I haven't ordered the
come
bundle.
out.
I'll just buy them separate, because at the time I was like, that's only cheap. So
yeah, so I'm gonna have these in my pre-orders for Big Finish, and it's just like, oh fuck, when they eventually come out.
I originally thought they were going to use one of the other Out of Times, because how are you going to top the 4th and the 10th Doctor? I thought they'll use one of the others to announce.
Well, they now have the 9th Doctor.
Well, I thought they'd use one of the others to announce a new Doctor coming in, like at the 11th or the 12th. I didn't think it'd be the 9th.
This is a very good week.
I never thought that'd happen.
This is a very good week for 10th Doctor team-ups. Every single bit of news is a 10th Doctor team-up this week.
Even the one about Who, the Who organisation.
Stop it.
What about the band?
Did any of you listen? Have a look at the trailer.
Which one? No, I didn't want it any I want to go into it like fresh.
That's the bit that made me pre-order it. Someone shared the trailer and I thought, alright, I'll give it a listen, see how it is, and then I thought, this is actually really good.
It sounds
Where's my bank card?
It's got a little shop in it.
Do you know the plot of it?
Doctor talking about a little shop. A big space cathedral and there's Daleks, maybe, I think.
Oh, it sounds so good. It's like where the Doctor goes there every now and again to contemplate stuff, and one of them's at the end of their life, and the other one's got some shit going on, and they both run into each other there, and it sounds top tier. I wonder if you'll start there.
Tom Baker sounds exactly the same.
I also don't think the reason I thought he'd introduce another Doctor was because I don't think they'll use an impressionist for the first 3, because the whole point's the actual Doctors meeting each other. Otherwise, they would have just used Jacob Dudman and the guy who does the 4th Doctor. But I also don't think there's anything big about the 6th and 7th Doctors meeting again, because they've done it loads. So if you're going to top 10 and 4, the 2 most iconic Doctors...
that's some of the 2 the most popular...
You do it by dropping the 12th Doctor out of the blue or something, but now that they've announced Eccleston, I don't think that'll happen.
I think what the other 2 are going to be is a more modern Doctor, so like McGann, Eccleston, Tennant, Smith or Capaldi if they get them, and a classic one.
Now that they've announced Eccleston's back, I don't think they'd announce Capaldi or Smith are back for a long time. So I don't think that'll happen now. But I also don't know how they're gonna top it. Because you just can't, can you? Unless you do 11 and 6 or something like that. But
that would be an interesting combination.
Yeah. Or 12 and 7 would be good because they're both Scottish, I guess.
12 and 6 because they're both dickheads. I would love to hear that
one. What else?
You could have that same theory though with 12 and 7 though. They're both dickheads.
Oh, 12 and 8 to add one to meet. But I
just want them all to meet each other. It'd be fun.
What you mean? How that shitty thing during the lockdown where it was the Doctors United or something?
That was okay. It was all right, but the impressions weren't that good. Remember Jodie's impression where they just got a woman to do it? They were just that worked.
But they got David Bradley in to do the first Doctor.
What, for Doctor Who Lockdown?
Did they?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
For that Doctors United thing, they got David Bradley.
Do you know what's weird? Jacob Dudman can do the voice for 9, 10, 11 and 12, and they only got him for 11, and they got shit ones for the rest. Thought, what are you doing? You could just get Jacob Dudman to do the lot. But yeah, anyway, that's enough of that.
Want to move on?
Speculation.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is the last piece of news. This is my favourite bit of news, actually. I'm quite excited about this one. It's Time Lord Victorious, obviously.
Of course.
Because we've got Time Lord Victorious news until the end of time.
Dan, it's the if I'm right, it's the announcement that they've made Time Lord Victorious socks.
It's not that one. It's The time fracture interactive experience thing.
Oh yeah.
I've been reading about this. It was pretty cool, and I want to do it.
I thought the trailer was pretty good. You know, I haven't watched any of the YouTube.
I watched all the trailers they put up.
Yeah,
it was quite fun.
Kate Stewart is also back as well in it.
Yes,
possibly, or just a trailer.
Stewart.
I thought that was a still that they released from the new special, and I was like, no way, they're bringing Unit back. But no.
Yeah, well, all of the Unit people in those trailers refer to themselves former Unit employees.
Oh,
which makes me
the
think
former Unit Black Site, the former scientific chief of Unit.
That's cool. I've only seen the one with the Dalek Cyberman and that weird old guy who's meant to be like a Time Lord or something.
The Time Lords on London Bridge.
That
sounds like a really bad prog rock song.
Stop a second. Is Dan still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're very quiet, Dan.
I got the giggles for a bit, so I had to mute my mic for a bit, and then
okay.
it was because you mentioned Tom Baker, and I remembered the magazine advert. You know, the $1.99.
Lad, you'd have to insert the clip of that, like the audio from it, because it's the best.
That'll be cold open.
Dan, that's what
Wasn't that $1.99? Is that good enough for you?
Yeah. Is that too melodramatic?
I sent Dan a screenshot, free cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he seen my message to you on it where it just said, wish he was me dad. And he was like, I don't even want to know. But it was something about Tom Baker. I think it might have been the screen.
It was a compilation of Tom Baker on Have I Got News For You.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
It was a lot of fun. So, time fracture. Did any of you do Cross of Elysium? I know we talked about that last week, I think.
We did. We talked about
that.
And the experience.
Never got around to it.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be very similar to Cross of Elysium and the opening bit to Doctor Who Experience.
Yeah.
Which if it is, I can't wait because I love them. And I know I was 12 at the time, but it was great.
Is this going to have to be one of the things where we actually have to meet up in real life?
Well,
it's
£47.
We can finally make the K9 and Company intro.
Yes,
there is that.
I want to do that as the channel trailer.
Isn't that £77 one though, where you get a T-shirt, a poster, and a pin badge though?
No, that's the £77 one.
Fucking hell! Hey, what if we all go like quarters?
Then we only get one ticket.
We'd have to hide under a massive coat.
Well, 3 of us wear glasses, so I guess we could pass off as the same person. That's how
one of us
has
a very
popping in and out of the toilet.
One of us has a very Scouse accent.
I can fake a Scouse accent.
Go on, Dan. Fake a Scouse accent.
Liverpool.
Terrible.
I've got Scouse blood in me.
Go on,
I'm
Cameron.
1/2 Scouse.
Go on, Cameron. Fake a Scouse accent. Eating your Pop Tart.
No.
Go on. No.
No.
Rosie Moore.
Rosie Moore.
What's a webisode?
Yeah. So I also watched there was 3. They were like unit field log type things as trailers. I think there might be more coming out.
It does seem like there will be more coming out, but not as regularly.
Yeah, because these were like one a day,
and they'll probably give the story for people who can't make it to the UK between February and March. Is it?
It seems to be running up to May.
Between those months, because obviously we are still in a COVID world. There are still a lot of flight and travel restrictions.
I'm just a COVID girl living in a COVID world.
Yeah, so
I was thinking of that.
Escape room and a live theatre experience when you're not meant to really be interacting with people that much isn't a very smart business plan.
I'll just check when the dates are open for again.
More like a dead theatre experience because everyone will fucking die. Got him.
Boom. Yes, it's February. That's when it opens. And the last date is May 30th, seemingly.
I don't think I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it. I love these things. I'm gonna do it.
How far away is this? Sorry, we're
London.
It's in London, in South Molton Street.
I hate going to London. I've been
So,
once.
if you watch the interactive trailer, it actually has the longitude and latitude in the bottom corner, because I read it wrong.
I checked that. It is for South Moulton Street, which is where...
Yeah, because I wasn't listening at the start when he read them out, I just read it from the bottom corner, and I mistook the 6 for an 8.
Stupid boy!
Stupid boy!
I was only 2.5 miles away.
I was making a reference to Love and Monsters, actually.
A fun little reference. Also, it seems like it's going to be the 10th and 13th Doctor again, teaming up.
Oh, it seems like someone at the BBC. Do you know when
Victorious,
people...
which she isn't in.
No, but her shoe was in this, though. It was her shoe that came through the wall.
No, there was Converse and what looked like one of the 8th Doctor's boots.
No, it was... Well, no, it was definitely one of Jodie's shoes, because it had quite a big heel on it. And also, when the two doctors are talking, they're like, no, it's definitely their shoes, not his shoes.
Remember, right, throwback, yeah? Do you remember that photo from Day of the Doctor of Matt Smith's shoes and David Tennant's shoes?
Mm-hmm.
That was... They both got the legs up. That was fucking...
Also, apparently this is the only thing they've got the 13th Doctor's rights for. Like her image rights.
Sorry, can I just say, Paul, when you were describing that, it sounded a lot like something on r/Scaro.
No, I meant it was... seeing them together was very exciting.
Yeah.
I don't have a foot fetish, and if you do,
slip off the shoes.
That's the cold open. That I don't have a foot fetish.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yep, and then the last one is the return of Kate Stewart, which I'm very happy about because she's great and I love her.
And the unit scientists in that, though, their names are references to other things in Doctor Who. There was a Yates, which is Mike Yates, and
Courtney,
which is the Brigadier.
And there was A.B. Zorbeloff.
Fucking hell.
Fuck off.
If only.
It does seem like unit is just full to the brim of nepotism.
Abraham Zorbeloff.
Yeah.
Everyone in unit these days is someone else's kid.
Yeah.
Well, Luke Smith's in there, and he's probably only got that job because of Sarah. Yeah, Funeral of Sarah Jane.
Sarah, yeah.
Yeah.
That made me cry.
Kate Stewart. Osgood is the daughter of someone from unit.
What do you think of Osgood?
I love her.
Okay.
They could have probably done more with her.
I also like Osgood, by the way. I remember at the time I was very annoyed because I was like, it's just like, oh look, it's a reference.
Yeah. I know Clive didn't join, but fucking Clive is someone from Unit's kid.
He is.
Yeah.
Old Harry in the Head Benton.
Yeah. Apparently, one of Bill's housemates from Knock Knock was meant to be Harry Sullivan's kid.
Yes.
Or a relation of Harry Sullivan.
Was it the funny one? The one who's like, oh, it's the Doctor. And he's like, just dead happy about it. And he's like, what a legend.
It's...
Lad.
For the 5 listeners, Dan has changed his icon in Discord to... is that Tom Baker from the...
Dimensions in Time.
Oh, no.
Good luck, my dears. He's looking very confused. He's trapped in a Windows 95 screensaver.
What you can't see just off screen is mate screaming Rosie Moore, and they've both got their organs out.
The members out.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to understand what that is, you're gonna have to go back to episode 1 of this.
And frankly, you do not want to understand.
Just going back to Knock Knock to get this back on we were talking about.
Yes.
In an early version of the script, Harry, one of Bill's friends, was to be revealed as the grandson of previous companion of the 4th Doctor, Harry Sullivan, but this scene was later dropped from the final script.
But why?
And so Harry was played by the actor Colin Ryan.
That would have been a classic Moffat and a grandson or a granddad appearing.
Oh, him. I know him. He's in stuff.
That's what actors tend to do.
Have you sent a picture of this?
No, he's in CBBC stuff.
Have you sent a picture
Leonardo.
of this? No.
He was in Leonardo. Do you remember Leonardo?
What the fuck's Leonardo?
It was a CBBC show about a young, sexy Leonardo when he's being
When did this show come out?
cool. In 2011.
Okay.
I remember liking it, but looking back, it was probably shit.
Oh, it's like, is it a period piece?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Leonardo da Vinci. It wasn't...
Oh, it's about Leonardo da Vinci? What the fuck
It's not like a young Leonardo DiCaprio.
This is the maddest
So is this bit going to get cooked out? Or what?
No, this is... everything else around it is getting cut out. This is the only bit that's going
This is raw uncut Shobocast. Is he ever dead smug? And he's like, I invented the helicopter 200 years before it was invented.
Why is that your Colin Baker voice as well?
Why would Leonardo da Vinci know he's invented it 200 years before everyone else, though?
Because he's so clever, Cameron. Keep up.
Yes, but he's just invented it, so surely he's invented it now, not 200 years beforehand.
No, but he just knows.
It's because he's so clever, Cameron. Keep up.
He's just guessing, Cameron.
Or whatever it was.
I invented the helicopter.
Shall we move on from this tangent?
Oh, I don't want to move on, Cameron, because you know what that means.
Love and monsters, lads.
This week we are talking about
I'm very excited.
2006 episode of Doctor Who, Love and Monsters.
Right. Let's get into this, shall we?
So what did you all think of this?
I love this episode
came out,
so
I
much.
thought it was an episode.
Mm-hmm.
Although I didn't actually watch it when it originally came out. I watched it a few days afterwards because it was my aunt's wedding.
Selfish.
Stupid relatives having a wedding and there's Doctor Who on.
Selfish now anyway, so there's no point.
Yeah. No, they're still happily married. Well, I think they're happily married. They're still married.
They're definitely married.
Still married.
They're definitely still married.
Ring them up.
Do you know what, Paul? I really, really love this episode.
Do you, Dan?
No, of course I fucking didn't. This is a terrible episode of television.
I will say.
Yeah.
Stop doing this to me, Dan. It's every week.
It's not as bad as people say it is.
No, it is.
It's amazing.
For me, Love and Monsters is... I feel the same way about it as I do Heaven Sent. Bear with.
That was
Careful what you say.
Miranda reference there, Dan.
Was it actually?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Do you know the woman on the phone, played by Sally Phillips, and she's always like, bear with.
Oh, wow. That's two Miranda references in this one episode.
We're becoming a Miranda podcast.
Miranda Hart's never been in Doctor Who, has she? But I feel like she has.
I don't think she has.
No.
Sorry, what was I saying?
I feel like she should have been.
Oh, Heaven Sent. Yeah, for me, it's like, I enjoy it so much like I do Heaven Sent until the last 5 minutes.
Well, that's interesting.
With both episodes, I think they're brilliant, and I think they're so different and refreshing, and I absolutely love them both, but it gets to the last 5 minutes, and I just went, what?
For what it has to do without having the Doctor and Rose in it for extended periods of time because they're off filming the Ood ones, it works really well. And it's a lot better as a Doctor Light episode than the next one of Fear Her, because that one, you can tell with hindsight, it was rushed and put together quickly. But we're not talking about Fear Her.
The next Doctor Light episode's Blink.
No, the Doctor's not in Fear Her.
No, he is.
Fear Her.
He disappears in the third act, but it's not a Doctor Light episode.
I class it as a Doctor Light one, so shut up.
Well, I classed you as an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh!
Can't wait to do the supercut of, like, roasts.
I know, yeah. all by Dan. Most of them will just be Dan going, I liked it. Paul, you fucking idiot.
Oh, it's so bad. I went into this episode wanting to at least give it a fair chance, and I came out of the episode regretting that.
But it's got ELO.
Lots of bad things have ELO.
Right, can I talk about that for a second?
The best song ever made can only do so much.
So I've got like a little thing prepared about the genius of Mr. Blue Sky in this episode.
Go ahead.
God.
Right. So Russell like incorporates it really well into the story, yeah. So at the start, when Elton introduces... Shut the fuck up, Dan. When Elton introduces himself, he's like dancing to Mr. Blue Sky, like, and it's very like offhand because it's just something that he enjoys, and it says like sun is shining in the sky and that because he's happy.
Do you want to just sing the full song for us right now so we can get out of the way?
Are we gonna have a full lyrics breakdown?
Not a full, but whenever it plays.
Video.
No, it says sun is shining because here's this bit. He is happy.
Well, if you're going to dismiss the genius of the episode,
guys,
okay,
so
you missed a crucial thing. I guarantee none of you have written this down.
Don't you know?
Where it says "sun is shining in the sky," that is a reference to Doctor Who implemented during Jeff Flynn's songwriting process, because he knew it would be shown in an episode where the sun would be in shot.
The sun isn't in shot.
The sunlight is. There's plenty of sunlight in that episode. Therefore, Jeff Flynn wrote that as a reference.
Technically, in every
to
shot, the sun is
the man
in shot.
is a genius.
It represents him being happy. Yeah. So then, the next time Mr. Blue Sky crops up in the episode is about a quarter of the way through. Yeah. When someone tells Elton who Rose is and where to find his mum, Jackie.
Bit weird.
And it says, "It's a beautiful new day," which is like a new chapter.
Hey.
In the plot.
Ding.
So then after that, the next time it plays, Elton's fooling Jackie as per. He's in an apartment.
She's so good.
And he realises he's in love with Ursula. Yeah, because
when he goes and gets pizza.
It's hot, but it's about to get hotter.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So then some stuff about putting your shirt back on and annoying the neighbours next door.
We'll get pizza, we'll put the telly on, and we'll annoy the neighbours next door.
And we'll shag against the wall.
But
Look, they're not shagging. That's the entire point of that scene.
So he realises he's in love with Ursula, and then it plays "Hey You" with the pretty face. Yeah.
Welcome to the human race.
Tying into that, like, realisation instead of just bells ringing like they normally do.
This is like an episode of Holmes Under the Fucking Hammer.
Oh, it's
listen, lad. So then the next time it plays, is when Elton finds out how his mum died, and it plays the end melody.
It's the sad bit.
Yeah, which the end melody in the context of this episode is quite sad compared to how it is in the actual song, which Russell does masterfully. Like the way Russell incorporated Mr. Blue Sky into the story of this episode.
I'm sure
fantastic.
That's something he did and not, say, the sound department.
Well, no, but he said use that.
The editors.
It's in the script. It's like plagued in the script. It's like all through it.
After every line Russell wrote in the script, Mr. Blue Sky plays. Mr. Blue Sky plays.
Yeah. But he's obviously chose this song because it's part of Elton's character.
It's definitely.
I think he chose it because it's a good song.
No, but he's incorporated it into the plot.
Yeah, I think it ties to the story quite a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's like the way James Gunn ties stories into the meaning of his films. Russell's done it.
I'm not sure what.
I prefer Russell to James Gunn.
I'm not sure what Turn to Stone or Don't Bring Me Down have anything to do with the plot, but
see,
Don't Bring Me Down. Next thing. And then Peter Kay turns up.
Peter Kay comes down the elevator, so he's going down,
and he brings down their mood.
When Turn to Stone plays, that's when they meet the Weeping Angels.
Listen, lad, I'm just talking about how Mr. Blue Sky fits the themes.
Yeah, we're just.
I'm not talking about these
We're just joshing
songs.
You carry on.
So, yeah, that's
really.
My little sorry, I broke down. That's my little essay on.
Well, that's 10 minutes of my life alone, Ken.
Listen, lad, this episode is quality.
This episode is 45 minutes of my life alone.
Bit?
Fucking hell.
I fucking hate that. I hate it so much. I have a note here that says I hate the Scooby-Doo thing.
Right, I've got written down,
It's just so cheesy and not in a fun way.
The Scooby-Doo chase scene is iconic.
Because it's got the hikes in it, Paul.
If you don't like it, just try and enjoy life a little bit. Like, fucking hell.
Yeah, do you want to talk about
so good. The hike.
Before we talk about the hikes,
let's get this out of the way.
The hikes.
No, before that, why did they have a blue bucket? If the blue bucket contains something bad, why have the blue bucket if it's bad?
Listen, Cameron, shut up.
The doctor, he knew he was going to have to do a little joke, so he put it there.
He is a bit of a jokester. He's always setting up his jokes.
By the prank patrol.
He waits till Rose is asleep, and then he travels to where they're going to go the next day to plant little jokes, and then he goes back. He wakes up and he's like, "Guess where we're going?" And then TARDIS takes him the wrong place, and he has to do it all over again. Amazing.
All right, and your
He's
waffle
just got buckets lying around all over the universe.
There's drips in the TARDIS everywhere. You wouldn't.
I would say it's more a fire bucket with that TARDIS.
It was just hot bucket. Lava bucket from Minecraft, that's what it was.
So, what are our thoughts on the Hoiks?
Awesome.
It's a good character that they put together in 5 minutes.
Dan, why have you got no thoughts on the Hoiks?
Because there's nothing to think about it. It's not a character.
It goes
I've
wrong.
looked at it a lot.
They used it in Torchwood
what is there
afterwards.
to think about it?
They used it, right, shut up, Cameron. They used it in Torchwood for like 12 seconds. Because I counted. Yeah.
I think it was in Torchwood longer than Doctor Who.
It weren't. It was in Doctor Who for like a minute and 34 seconds.
You know what I'd say about that?
The
You know what
scene
I'd
lasted
say?
for a minute and 34 seconds. That doesn't mean the Hoiks was in it for a minute and 34 seconds.
Listen, shut up.
You know what I'd say about that, Paul? I would say that was Doctor Who's biggest mistake.
I would say that's
And
Doctor
if I
Who's
were-
And we would
Fine.
link to the video below.
If I were to find a video, perhaps summarising my thoughts on the thing, I would go to...
Shebogan Ho.
No, actually, I'd go to my channel and just like the latest one.
Well,
Got it.
Top 10 best Chibnall stories.
I've got a whole video.
Hey,
I don't have a
that is
video
a
on the
quality
top
video.
10 best Chibnall stories.
It took
Actually,
me
it's about
10
a short
seconds.
story. But yeah, I have a video on the Hoiks because he's just. It's the best alien that's ever been in the show.
Is it?
It's not.
Look at
It's
it.
not. No,
Tell me
no.
one thing
so-
about the Hoiks.
It just looks
Tell me
great.
one thing
Look
about the
at its
Hoiks. Paul.
design, lad.
That's not a thing about the Hoiks that you just.
Right. It's
Tell
big
me
What's its
fucking
planet of
axes.
origin?
Tell me
What's
one
his-
thing about the Hoiks that isn't what it looks like.
Oh, it's part of the Pandorica Alliance.
Great.
Oh, so.
Oh, by it's part of the Pandorica Alliance, you mean it was in the costume department warehouse
Listen, lad.
and they needed another thing to fill out the scene?
Do you know what? I think they vandalised the costume. Do you
Yes,
know
we know. We've watched
think-
the video.
I think Time vandalised the costume.
Wow, how dare you? It's in the Rings of Action, but it's they've put like a weird
They've,
like
they've,
half mouthpiece
it's been
on it.
credited here in the TARDIS fandom site, the Doctor Who wiki, as tentacled species.
Yeah. Fucking, they didn't even give it a name.
I know.
Fucking, I've got the Hoiks figure's one of the best as well. Can I just say?
Is it?
It's listen, lad.
We need to
If
stop.
you've
We
got
need to stop
something to
him.
say-
We need to
If
stop
it was
him.
one of the
What the
best
Hoiks?
figures, it would be on my desk
Look,
in front of me, but it's not. I have 2
'Cause you've
Daleks,
got-
Canine, and a Weeping Angel,
You've got
We
bad
need to
taste.
stop him.
You've got a canine figure on your
and a
desk.
cane,
Get
and a
out.
cave troll.
Oh, there's one for £3.50 and £3 postage on eBay.
Amazing. Get one, dog.
I might by the end of the episode. I might.
I'll convince you. Buy it down. Buy it down.
This
Buy
is
it down.
better,
Buy
though.
it down.
I can get the Monster Invasion card for £1.05.
Can you buy me that, please? No. If any listeners want to send one our way,
There's a naked
Yeah.
Hoiks.
Oh fuck yeah!
That's the cheapest
the
one.
naked Hoiks.
Yeah.
That like
What
the
class is
naked
that?
Perry.
Listen, lad.
Oh no,
think-
let's not. That was disgusting.
So the bit where Elton recaps series 1 of Doctor Who,
I love
Yeah.
that so much.
it felt like a shit version of Turn Left. Because your Turn
from
Left
no-
was
Turn
like
left was geographically accurate.
Your Turn Left was like, here's a bunch of like interesting takes on all the stories you thought you knew, like all different perspectives on them. Whereas this was just like, oh, do you remember that time when aliens was there? Well, I saw it. Do you remember that time when aliens did a thing? I saw that as well.
Yeah. Speaking of that montage, I think the Autons are done better in that scene than in Rose.
Yes. Yeah.
Like the way they move it, it's different, and I like it. It's a bit better, I think.
I
That
love
was
that
meant to
scene.
be a bigger, like, flashback sequence, so originally. It was meant to reference Classic Who as well. And he was meant to have seen the Loch Ness Monster in the Thames and all of the
imagine-
Daleks on a school trip, that sort of shite.
Imagine it referenced Classic Who and Elton's walking down the street, Phil Mitchell walks past, then the Rhiney comes in and they go, "Wah!" John Pertwee's there, but he's pissed or it was that Sylvester
yeah,
McCoy.
That flashback to Aliens of London World War III is not geographically accurate.
Oh well.
That street does not fucking exist.
Listen, lad, it's
Oh no,
not
you
the
could be at
Who.
horse guards.
You
Could be
reminded
at
me.
Sap Street.
You just reminded me, because you're talking about geographical locations. The blue lot of it's like a big, where he goes to see the Doctor and the Hoiks, where the TARDIS is parked outside. There's all these big
Oh, yeah.
blue doors
Yeah.
across this building.
Yeah.
You can actually see that building if you go to the Yanto Shrine in Cardiff and you look across the bay. You can see that exact thing.
That's because it's next to the BBC studio.
Yeah. No, it's in London. It's in London.
No, I'm pretty sure that like small sandy beach area is the same bit where they filmed the end of Mummy on the Orient Express. Because the building behind Frank Skinner at the end of that they've CGI'd in is actually the BBC studio.
Yeah, really. I know that there's like a hotel there. I remember when we went to Cardiff when I was younger, and they said that when they were filming, a lot of the cast and some of the doctors would stay at this like certain hotel. But I don't know if any of that's true. But it's near there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So, why is he recapping all of the alien things?
Because he's talking about encounters with the Doctor.
But but he's seemingly in this YouTube video. He's like, here's all the time I've encountered aliens. But those were all everyone who is watching that YouTube video in universe has seen them because they were people who exist. Yeah, unless you don't.
Well,
everyone knows about like the 3 times aliens invaded London.
I don't think it's
because it would have been the biggest news story of that decade.
No one knows actually, because they all forget because humans are stupid. But I think what he was actually, because he didn't put it on YouTube, we didn't see that. I think he was just recording a sex tape with Ursula. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, who was that bit for?
No, I do not know what you mean. What is a sex tape?
What is sex? What is tape?
Cool.
You do realise there will be some people who don't know what a tape is because they are, I don't know whether to say idiots or young. Recording tape. You cannot put a film on the sellotape.
Fucking watch me try.
What are we talking about now?
So, in this opening scene...
You have a fucking cassette player?
No, it's a tin and it's got all...
It's Guardians of the Galaxy in it.
It's got my picks in it for my guitar.
Oh.
It costs £13 at Centre Park.
Yeah, me and Dan are gonna make the Shobocast band soon. Don't worry about that.
Shabandcast.
I own a guitar if that helps.
Oh! I know a couple.
Yeah, I own one. I can't play it.
Speaking of songs, yeah.
I'll go.
Smooth transition, though. When Elton references Elton John, the video of Elton John playing Daniel comes up.
That is a reference to me. Thank you. Specifically me, not the other Dan in this.
I wish he would stop dancing. He dances too much.
It went a bit too long.
It's like I like it, to be honest.
It felt like I was watching Joker again.
I wish you played more of that song. I wish you played more of that song because it could have been like, God, it looks like Daniel. Must be a cloud I'm
gonna do that now, Dan. I'm gonna edit Elton dancing in his bedroom in slow mo to the Joker soundtrack.
Dan, can you get up and give us a high kick as well?
You're awful, Mr. Kennedy.
Dan, make sure you're recording this, by the way.
So, also, I don't know if it is picked up upon, but when he's filming his video log thing outside of his old childhood home,
scary.
No, not this bit. Outside the home, it has the 4 like marks in the corner, which disappear and then reappear.
Oh well.
And I remember watching Doctor Who Confidential about this, and someone actually pointed it out, and they went, "We should have thought of it, but we didn't."
That's unforgivable. That.
Right. So, can we talk about? Right, you might not like the episode, but it's so well written. Like, it makes you care about all of the characters, I reckon. Like, it makes you like
Bridget.
them.
Oh my god.
Gives you exactly.
I found Bliss a bit annoying, but Bridget, wow.
Lad, I've got written down here. Oh, it says, my daughter disappeared. It wasn't aliens that took her away. It was just drugs. It was the 456.
Oh no.
Poor Bridget.
But no,
The
yeah, it
characters
does.
in this episode are so good.
It's so cute that
Yeah.
she starts seeing what's he called?
Mr. Skinner.
Yeah.
Ah.
I get Mr. Skinner and Mr. Kennedy confused, even though
Do you
they're
know-
very different.
Why
Do you know this is just for Big Finish, this part. So Big Finish, please give us a Linda box set. You could call it Musical Linda. Just an idea.
Just an album.
Just put
record
that.
an album
Ah, come
with
on.
the-
You specialise in CDs, you can do that.
It does annoy me the way that Mr. Skinner's playing the drum kit, but I can ignore that because I do.
It was not right in
just
any way,
snaz.
It was.
Hey. Still better than Ringo Starr, isn't it?
You know what I need to do? That is a good video. Like, you know when people take music videos and stuff, but they re-record audio over it so it's more realistic. So when they're dancing, you can hear their shoes like squeaking, and the guitars aren't plugged in. It's just dead awkward. I need to do that for for the Linda scene. The piano, ding 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 ding. Continue.
Continue.
Yeah, and
Well-
Peter Kay is a really good villain.
I've
I thought
got
he
it
was
written
used for
down.
something better.
Lad.
No, but you have to admit, when
Zoblov's
he's
good.
as Victor Kennedy,
that's
he is a brilliant villain, and if they just kept him as the villain, it would be a brilliant story on its own.
I've got
And, like,
written
just-
here.
Just seeing him go from like Car Share, which was the most recent thing I watched him in, and Max and Paddy and stuff, where he's
Max
a
and
bubbly,
Paddy's so good.
laughing, like stereotypical happy fat man, to then
Yeah.
the Victor Kennedy character. It's
I love that when he becomes the Absorbaloff, he goes like full on Bolton accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The posh
Goes
accent.
deep north.
I think he did the southern accent deliberately a bit wonky, because then when he
Yeah.
does reveal his
Yeah.
true form, he's just like,
Oh, I'm the Absorbaloff.
genuine article.
Oh,
Not Dan. Cameron. Sorry.
We're all so similar.
Speaking of Max and Paddy, do you remember this iconic line? Their names are Raymond. The bastard.
yes.
beautiful.
Classic.
He also makes a brilliant wedding DJ, apparently.
Yes. You told us before, but
Peter,
not on here.
Peter Kay, yeah.
Yeah, Peter Kay was the DJ at my parents' wedding.
Oh,
What?
that
Yeah.
little rascal.
Could you get him?
Well-
Get back in touch and get him on here.
I'll see if he.
Please.
Call him now.
Oh, no.
We can do
Call
a
him now.
second Love and Monsters episode, but with Peter Kay.
Yeah, this was before he was famous.
Did you say he regretted doing this bit?
He apparently does, yeah.
Oh,
He has said
That's a
this is the
shame.
biggest regret of his career.
Ricky Gervais took the piss out of it in Extras. With
Yeah. The
what
the
was his?
spunk
with the-
something. I can't remember what it's something like that, isn't it?
I'll
whilst
tell you the name
Paul's
now.
trying to find it.
Found it.
The Absorbaloff says, yes, I like that name, when the Doctor and Elton say Absorbaloff. So what is he actually called?
Yeah,
Well,
he
he
must have an
might just be
actual
like-
name.
A clomling or whatever you'd call
Yeah.
it. But I like how the Doctor says the Absorber clom, and you're like, well, that's his planet. Fucking hell! Like he must have some clue what he is. But
He does
Anyway,
he does look close to the Slitheen in like
In the way that he's
texture
doing.
and
That's why he's so sad all the time. He doesn't know what he is.
yeah,
He's wandering the universe.
now
absorbing people.
I'm imagining the little orphan Grinch baby from the Grinch, but as the Absorber.
oh,
He's wandering the universe, absorbing people, hoping that one day he'll absorb someone who knows what he is.
He falls
You
in
know
love
what?
by accident.
No, also with absorbing, he has that cane so he doesn't like absorb into the ground. So what
That's
happens
amazing.
when they're
What naturally happens to that species? How do they
yeah?
exist
Are
if
they
they
born
only,
with a cane?
if they only
I've
need
got a
electric
theory.
things?
I've got a theory. Yeah,
Is it a shit
based
theory?
on. No, it's pretty
Probably.
good. So, in my other favourite TV series, yeah, Ben 10, he has an alien called Goop, yeah, who's made of goo, and he's
Of
got
course.
this little floating UFO looking thing over his head that keeps him propped up, because on his planet the gravity is much thicker, like more dense. So on his planet he can stand up anyway like a human would, because the planet on the gravity on our planet's lighter. He's just a pile of goo without that. So maybe with the Absorbaloff, the gravity on his planet's denser, so he can.
I don't
hold
think
on.
they put that much thought into it.
But I have.
It was created by a child.
Listen, lad.
Yep, this was a. It was
You can-
the winner of a Blue Peter competition.
You can still find. He's got a YouTube channel now, and he did a video talking about it. It's quite
The
interesting.
The Ricky Gervais alien is called Schlong, and he's canon. So, yeah, I said it.
He is as canon as the Jaeger and Lightfoot Series 13.
That is canon. So,
Is that like Blue Peter? I don't know anymore if they've done stuff, but they did have a lot of ties with. Doctor Who.
Another reason you should love and Monsters.
Oh no!
Russell wanted to do a Christmas special.
And he did do a Christmas special.
Yeah, but he didn't have the budget. He didn't have the budget for one. Mm-hmm. So he used the budget for one of the actual series episodes. But then he got Blue Peter to do an alien competition. So whoever won, Blue Peter had to finance the episode. So
that's why the Hoyks was put together in 5 minutes and looks cheap and rubbery.
Bankrupt to 7.
Fuck off! The Hoyks looks amazing, Cameron.
The Hoyks looks great. I don't understand this Hoyks hate right now.
Looks as good as the Dregs.
I don't hate the Hoyks. I just don't feel anything about the Hoyks.
Better than the Dregs.
But another episode that uses the classic "We'll get Blue Peter to pay for it" is The Doctor's Wife. Another one of the best episodes ever.
That was the TARDIS, wasn't it?
I entered that competition.
TARDIS, yeah.
I entered the one for Love and Monsters, but I didn't enter the TARDIS one.
Also, another Blue Peter thing was in Utopia. The little boy they meet, who like gets turned into the top of
This guy's amazing.
That was a Blue Peter competition.
What's that part?
Yeah, they did like a whole documentary following.
Yeah, they did a program. They did a program the next week where they turned him into a Toclophane. It was horrific.
Yeah. Am I the only one who never watched Blue Peter as a kid?
Who didn't watch it?
Who didn't watch it? Yeah.
Seemingly, I love the Blue Peter. I had a Blue Peter badge.
It came on, and I thought this was boring.
I won a Blue Peter badge because they made a Dalek cake one week, and that's what I got my Blue Peter badge for.
Gimp. I'm awesome.
That picture's still out there somewhere. I think it's on Facebook.
But yeah, so you know what else I love?
The way they call the TARDIS noise the sound of the universe.
Oh, I've got right. The way Russell makes normal people describe the TARDIS is like the best thing you've ever heard.
I like how in this episode it's stuff like that, and then in the other episode it's just like, have you left the back door open?
Elton describes it as the most beautiful sound in the world, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then the Absorbaloff describes it as the sound of the universe.
I think an episode like this could have been... I think it would have been really cool if it was like... If there was more investigation going on, and there was more like the stuff with Clive and Rose, where it's like... Whether if they actually went into... there's a TARDIS in this book, or like... Instead of just going... Instead of it just being a montage where someone goes...
We talked about the main point of this episode. Which is obviously
what do you think that is?
It's taking the piss out of obsessive fans, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like that scene in Sherlock.
Like what scene?
Elaborate on that, please, Cameron.
In I think it's series 3.
After he's jumped off the... I know what you mean.
After he's done jumped off the waterfall, in the opening episode of the next series, there's all the conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
And that is... Oh yeah, you're doing this, and you're all stupid for coming up with these theories, because they were legitimate theories created by fans that they were going, no, that's stupid.
All right, that's cool.
But which one do you think actually happened?
None of them. It's a TV show. He fell off a waterfall in a book written by a Victorian.
Yeah, but that's not what happened.
Well, don't we all do that some days?
Oh yeah.
Very good.
Which one do you think actually happened in the episode, though? I reckon it's the one where John gets fucking knocked over by a bike.
What, with Darren Brown?
Yeah. Forgot about that bit, but yeah.
I'm really starting to worry the consensus that people are going to come away from this episode of the podcast is that we think this is a good episode of TV.
No, it is. It is. I genuinely.
It's really starting to feel like that.
Can you not tell, though? I'm trying to dislodge the conversation.
That means that my job's like, I'm better at this than my actual job.
Should we go around and give a score out of 10? Paul?
9.
Yeah. Okay.
9.
I'd give it...
Dan said 9 as well.
No. I was saying as in I acknowledged your 9.
Yeah.
I'd give it probably...
No, the other Dan said 9.
I'd give it a 6.
Fuck
I give it a 5.
Jesus Christ, Cameron, I swear to God.
No, actually, I'd give it a 7.
So, yeah. Go on, Cameron.
It's a good episode. I can't put numbers on it because then I'd have to number every other one, and I can't be bothered numbering 32 years
We're on
worth
limited
of...
time here. 32
Pick a
years.
random number between 1 and 10.
If it's
47.
above 5, I'll kill you. Okay.
Right. I genuinely...
Really? And you give this a 9?
I cried watching this episode before.
You cry at every episode, Paul.
Listen,
That is
lad,
no different.
it was sad.
With my rating system, a 9 is the highest I'm allowed to go.
Really?
I never give anything a 10.
Why?
Because I don't think it's possible to give something a 10.
Well,
That's 10 is perfection, and nothing can ever be perfect
Are you
by our
telling me
maximum standards.
you wouldn't give this podcast a 10 out of 10?
I would give this podcast a 1 out of 10.
I don't even listen to the podcast.
Please,
I can't stand the sound of my own voice.
So if you won't give anything a 10, what you've got to do is you've got to make 9 the new 10, and then just give it a 10.
Well, no, because
Then everything goes down 1. So eventually everything will be 0.
Everything is a 1 out of 1.
So what my thing is, I'll give it a 10. Yeah, not Love Monsters. I'll give the Doctor's Wife.
Ridiculous.
I'll give it 10 because I don't think. I think it's pretty much perfect. I wouldn't improve it in any way.
Well, no, but if it's pretty much perfect, I mean it isn't perfect.
Yeah.
So that means it can't be a 10 out of 10.
Well, by pretty much perfect, I mean it is perfect.
Not even Mary Poppins is perfect. She's practically
also,
perfect.
Since everyone's like rankings are different, someone can happily say that they think something's perfect.
Yeah, someone might say Fear Her's perfect.
No, not one does so.
No.
I will say things are perfect, but I wouldn't give them a 10 out of 10.
And does anyone here enjoy Fear
I
Her
would.
more than Love and Monsters?
No,
No, Fear Her is a worst episode.
because Love and Monsters is great.
Right.
Although I will give this to Fear
Right,
Her, it does have the best materialization in the show.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
start.
I'm putting you to the council.
Oh.
Absorbaloff watches the people in Linda not as like a boss or someone spying on them. He does watch them with militaristic intent, and that comes across when it's just like Ursula Blake, most likely to fight back, sort of thing.
Yeah, but that's the only person he does it with.
Yeah, but it's a nice little detail. It's one of the good details I have.
Well, another, yeah, because you know me, love this episode. Right, are you ready? Mr. Skinner, are you coming? Not to the Chinese, if you don't mind.
It does have some good lines, the episode.
I actually I get eczema on my arm, and now me and my mum just refer to it as
eczema. Dan.
You got eczema.
Why does he say it like that?
Because
he's a comedian.
I love that, eczema.
A blister to the touch. Back, all of you.
Chef's kiss. Eczema, man.
I'm not kissing it.
Kiss the eczema.
Eczema. Another bit I love. Do you know when he goes to hit Elton? And that goes, you can't hit me. The eczema.
But I can't move this.
Gets a hell of a smack off me, and then a good kick.
I love it.
Also, can one of you three work it out? What are the odds of Elton finding someone who knows Jackie in like the first 5 minutes in
That's
London?
the joke.
I think she knows.
Work out the odds for me.
That's the joke.
I think she knows every single person in that area of London. So I think
she definitely does.
That is what old women do.
She goes to that market every day. She flirts with the guy who sells vegetables. We know that because he sleeps in her house with a fucking house coat, dressing gown that she gives to the doctor. Gotta be neutral.
Well, he gets hungry in the night.
Do you know what we haven't?
He does get hungry in the night.
Do you know what little nitpick I'm surprised Cameron hasn't mentioned? Is the fact
I may not
that
have just mentioned it yet.
when Ursula is absorbed, she's still wearing her glasses.
Oh, I have that written
I
down.
love that. That's amazing. Big fleshy lenses.
Yeah,
Can I quote you on that?
Yeah.
Who are the
are
other?
the glasses part of his skin now?
Cameron's wasting paper again, guys.
I like the other
But
deformed faces in like the skin. Like there's one near his like shoulder that is you can see
Ah.
a face, but it's like been there for so long it's died.
This is the first mention of Vote Saxon, isn't it?
Yes, on the
Which is
newspaper.
so weird.
Because this episode contains the first 4
The
series.
whole season earlier.
Yeah.
Russell's genius seeps
But
through
it-
everything.
The episode features a reference to all 4 series as
The
arcs.
series arcs,
We've
yeah.
got Bad Wolf, Torchwood, Saxon, and then if you want to count it, Clom,
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh,
Clom goes
yeah.
missing.
Clom!
The genius of fucking Clom, man. Russell's so good. Russell's the genius of our times. Stephen Hawking's dead. The era of Russell begins.
Do you want a cheeky quick story about PK?
Yes, please.
Go on.
Yeah,
You know where he lives.
I do know where he lives. It's common knowledge.
Oh yeah.
So before he got into comedy, he used to work in the box office at the Octagon in Bolton, which is the big like fancy theatre. Not fancy,
Yeah.
but like
Is
artsy theatre.
Is
It's
this
like
when Peter Kay
Bolton.
was the highest rated movie of all time?
What?
The box office.
Wait, Dan, do you say Bolton or Bolton?
Bolton.
Awesome.
Bolton.
Do you say Bury or Bury?
Bury.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry about that. I just destroyed the pace like Paul did last episode.
I've
taken
passed on the
Paul's
curse.
Yeah, so he used to work in the box office, like ripping tickets, and apparently he would rip the ticket and then tell the person how the play ended. And he got fired because of it.
That's amazing.
He would go, "Rip a ticket,
Can you do
and
that
this
at
is
your
how the play
cinema?
ends." Oh, I want to so much.
Do you know what I love? I love the infiltration scene where Elton's like, I've got to introduce myself, and she's like, my name's Jackie. Proper time to chat them up immediately.
Paul,
Yeah,
you
she's
probably
doing all
looked
of
into
the
this.
steps for
What
me.
is the age difference between the characters meant to be?
Oh, I meant to look that up.
Elton, I would say, is about 32.
And how old's Jackie meant to be?
Easily about 40. Oh, wait,
Something.
40, I'd say.
Oh, okay, because I'm pretty sure. I think I looked it up. Mark Warren, I think, is actually older than the person who plays Jackie.
The bit at the end where he's thinking about his mum.
Oh, that's so...
I couldn't stop myself laughing from that because it reminded me. It reminded me so. Have any of you seen Community?
Yep.
You know the bit. I think it's in season 6. It's the
Oh,
Annie's
one of
missing
the-
lover footage. This bit where Abed is like filming. Like Abed and Annie are filming a thing for like when she goes missing, so the hero can watch like an old videotape of her being like impossibly beautiful and like lovely, and he watches it over and over again. Does no one know what I'm talking about?
No.
No.
It was
That's one of the bad series, so I
no,
forgot that.
6 is great. It was filmed exactly like that, and I could not think about anything else.
Do you know
Because
what bit I love?
like she was washing up the dish and she turned around and she go, "Oh, stop filming me."
Do you know what bit I love? Do you know when it like fades to white, but it like leaves Elton's silhouette stuff?
It was very deep, very hashtag deep.
Well, I thought I didn't think that was the saddest part because I already had tears in my eyes before that. Because
You have
there's a
tears
bit,
in your eyes when you see the title sequence.
lad, it's sexy, that title sequence. When Rose, when like Ursula says goodbye to Elton, and Rose like the face disappears for now. Rose goes to Elton. Who is she? And Elton's like almost in tears, and he's like, "That was Ursula." I was like, "Oh no, not Elton and Ursula."
Yeah, it was Ursula. It sounded like Michael Caine, never mind.
Genuinely, like,
That was Ursula, and she was a bloody good woman.
if we just go back a bit though,
Yeah.
yeah. Wait, speaking of Michael Caine, yeah.
Oh,
There's a guy, I watched Age of Steel and that earlier. There's a guy in it called Mr. Crane, and he's just a beta, Michael
he is,
Caine.
yeah. The one that is like, Alexa, play the jungle song.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
what another belter tune. Russell comes out with all the belters, doesn't he?
Yeah, he writes them all. I believe he is.
You know
I
what I
believe he
mean?
is the founder of ELO.
We should do an episode on a Cyberman story one day. Oh wait.
We've done two.
Last week.
Excellent.
And the week
I
before.
don't know why I gestured.
It's over there.
That's the direction last week, isn't
It's
it?
over there in
It's just
Cameron's
over there.
room.
To the east.
Just there.
In your room.
That corner. That
Holding
corner
a
there,
knife.
you can just see it.
And technically for me, last week is just over here, because this is where the DVD is.
And how do they not hear the screams as they're walking out?
It's so loud.
It's
in the
so
mix as
low.
well.
Like, they
so
are
loud.
screaming incredibly loud. They're in a
Yeah.
basement when he's absorbing them. And they're just talking rather quietly, going, "Oh, I've forgotten my phone."
Right. Well,
It's more
I've
like-
got a theory on this.
They're
Um,
assholes.
The scream was added in post, so that the audience know what's happened.
Yeah, Cameron. Post-production.
You idiot.
You...
They weren't actually screaming.
Yeah.
They were on a set. This is an episode of television. That's why they didn't react.
So,
Because they were all actors.
Maybe it was actually the Absorbaloff screaming from pleasure.
it was. He was like, Rosie, no!
$1.99?
Oh, do you know what? Do you know what really brings this episode down from a 10 to a 9?
The song "Don't Bring Me Down."
No. Do you know when they catch him in the act, and like when it's revealing all the faces, one of them's
On the butt.
You just got
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah. You don't want
However-
to know where I am.
It's bliss, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
it
Bless,
redeems himself. It redeems itself because they cover it up by just having him read the paper.
Yeah.
I love that. He might as well have had the glasses and the nose.
And I also like the foreshadowing bit of how long until Rose and Jackie pay the price of being with the Doctor. About 2
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know what else I quite like? I know lots of boring people hate this, yeah. If you don't like this bit, grow up. So, I love that it ends on a blowjob joke. It's just so funny.
That's the heaven sent point for me that just like makes me think, well, what was the point of all of that if you're just going to ruin it with this little...
Do you know why I like it? Because it gives us the Doctor looking dead serious and then going, Elton, fetch a spade.
Get a spade!
Just
But it gives us that, like... Forgot what I was going to say.
Good.
It's like... It's just good. Like... What was I going to say?
That was it.
Ah!
Please do the randomizer.
It's such
No,
a
wait,
fucking
it's not.
horrific
You know what really
thing.
brings this episode down for me, though? The fact
rest
that
of
at
it?
the end, when Mark Warren snaps the cane, if you look at it closely, you can notice it's already got a bend in it.
Shut up.
Really?
Yeah, that's the worst bit.
That's the worst bit.
It's such a fucking horrific fate that Ursula suffers
Oh,
at the end.
Yeah.
that was the other bit.
How is she
It's
still
horrible.
I don't
But
The
I feel sorry
other reason
for...
why I love it is because the
I would
Doctor's like,
rather
this will be a good idea, and he
I'd
does
rather be dead than a face in a slab.
How do they...
Same. A face in a slab with a dick in it.
But
Let's
she
not
says
forget
she's
that.
never going to grow old or die.
Also, how...
So obviously, when
She's
Elton
the
dies,
face of Bo.
she'll be all sad and upset. So does that mean someone has to come along with a sledgehammer and smash the paving slab?
Just behind the face of Bo, there's like a little square of cement that she's just growing out of.
You know when
Oh.
she when she performs oral sex on Elton?
And she gives him a gobby.
Where does
How-
the penis go?
How
I
far
believe
does
that's a song from Elton John in the 70s, isn't it? When she oral sex on Elton.
But how far back does her throat go?
Oh,
Is it bigger on the inside?
All
like
the
it's
way.
ours?
It's like a magic hole.
I'm so
Right.
sorry.
It's big
Do we
enough
want
that
some
it's
trivia from this
all the way.
episode now?
I've just
well,
noticed,
to move on.
I've just
Not yet,
noticed
Cameron.
Move
every
Not yet,
episode
Cameron.
we do of this podcast always ends up with me or Paul saying something and Dan like going backwards in his chair like that with his face in his hand.
Right, before we move on to the next bit, I actually do have something good to say about this bit.
It better be fucking good.
I still stand by all those reasons I've just said. But Russell showing that Elton, like, he looks at her, yeah, and she looks monstrous. Like, stone. She's got a weird complexion now, yeah. He looks at her and he goes, I love her. And that shows, yeah.
That he loves her.
No, that
Beauty
shows
in the
that
eye of the beholder.
his beauty isn't just skin deep, and he actually is genuinely in love with her.
It's
Which
rock
really,
deep.
which is
It's
like
concrete deep.
She has
It
a
is.
heart of stone.
Like, even though she looks like a monster, he still loves her because it was genuine. And I love that.
And it fits into the title, Love and Monsters.
It's
Exactly,
so
lad.
hashtag deep.
Oh, lad, it all comes back. Oh, lad, I love it even more. 10,
There's
10
monsters
out of
Right,
10.
and
so-
love in it.
Weird trivia bits now. The guy who plays Mr. Skinner is most well known now for being the voice of Alexander in Compare the Market adverts.
I thought you was going to say dead.
No. He's the voice of a meerkat.
Simples.
The Doctor and Rose only have 10 minutes of screen time. This episode was watched by 6.663 million people on broadcast.
Now it's time for
Viewers.
viewer thoughts.
We need a proper name for it because viewers'
need a
thoughts
proper
is
name for it.
terrible.
Doctor Who.
Some random people we found on the internet's opinions on an episode brought to you by 4 people on the internet.
Mm-mm.
Not that
Email.
catchy.
Who mail like Hotmail.
Oh, who mail?
Or we could just call it email, episode mail.
Are you on
Oh,
email?
what was that head shake?
Of course I'm on email, Dan.
Oh, you've,
It's the
You've
hip
got
place
to
to
be
be.
on
it's
email.
the future of communication.
Telecommunication, you could say.
You've simply got to be on email these days.
If you're not on email, you're a square.
I predict by 2050, at least 50% of all business will be conducted on email.
My mate Ed.
I
Big
have a
man
cousin
Ed.
called Ed.
So he
Eddie
said,
boy. Ed
he
man.
said, a love letter to the fans. Understand why people don't like it, but I think they're looking at it wrong. Worth it for the Jackie scenes alone. A true underrated gem from the show, if ever there was one. And I absolutely agree with that.
She's great in it.
He never said
Yeah.
9 out of 10, but I assume he means 9 out of 10. My mate Matthews put a generally underrated episode that succeeds in expanding the modern world without focusing on somebody close to the Doctor. Also, the Absorb Laugh is funny, leave him alone.
I'd hope the Absorber Laugh is funny when it's a award-winning comedian.
Well, he didn't write it, so it might not be funny. But Russell's
No,
a
but
comedy
delivery
god,
as well.
So on the group, Adam's put, I think you have an unhealthy obsession and need to stop.
You fucking do,
Right.
Paul.
You know what, Adam? You're not wrong, because I'm watching it again tomorrow.
I think you've watched this episode so much it's broken you.
No,
Like you
Stockholm
watched it.
Syndrome.
You watched it once, and something inside you snapped, and now you love it.
I've
think
always
that's-
loved it.
That's what.
From
it wants.
birth to death, I love loving monsters. That'll be what's written on my grave. Russell T. Gravies. You got it. Not like gravy is in Bisto.
You were right there, Dan.
I'm
I just murdered Dan.
just keep going. Carry on.
Chris put a winky face because he loves the episode.
He also put a GIF.
Chris hates this episode with a passion, but he has no reason to.
Yeah, it's also a GIF of Simon Cowell shaking his head, going, "It's a no from me."
Yeah, but Chris is a fool, and we don't suffer fools on this podcast. You
That's
never wonder what
a bit
happened to the
mean.
fifth member, Gareth. Dead.
Yeah, didn't even make
However,
it.
we
if
past
you
the
are
test
listening to this
footage.
show,
He
Thank
didn't
you
make
for listening.
episode 1 because he said Kel was a bad character. And
We literally
We'll
we
never find the body.
test recorded, didn't we? And Gareth, was that his name? I can't
Yeah,
remember
Kel.
because he was on for so short. He just straight up said, "Kel, I don't really like him that much," and we just went, "Okay, right, understood." Kicked him, blocked him on everything.
Shovel to the back of the head.
Taylor says, "Great concept and a really memorable episode. Not the best implementation. The direction of the episode is top notch, and the acting is brilliant. The Absorb Laugh is terrible, and the oral sex joke was bad. Killer soundtrack though, Will Taylor, as I said. If you don't enjoy the oral sex joke, grow up. It's the real world." Someone called Dom has put, "Haters gonna hate," which is,
And a gif
Sure.
of a man on some roller skates.
And I will hate.
Someone called Dan. I wonder who that could be.
He looks pretty
It's
handsome from his profile.
Doctor Who.
He looks a sexy little man in there.
Yeah. And Sam's put, "You should do all the Dr. Light episodes, Love and Monsters, blink, turn left, Notice how we didn't mention fear her?
Because it's not a Doctor
We're
Who
not going there
episode.
again.
Yeah.
Fuck
It's
you.
not a Doctor Who episode.
He's very
I don't know
heavily
what
in the
fear
episode.
Turn a light on in your room, you pleb.
Loads of people say flatline as well, but that just isn't.
I count that as a nearly Doctor light. Yeah.
Oh, Chris has replied to him saying doesn't flatline count even though the Doctor... I don't think it does because the Doctor's literally in the entire episode. Like, he's constantly there.
He's out of action though. Like he's
Yeah,
getting
he's still there.
He's
Filmed
in
over a
turn
different
left, but he's out of action.
day.
That's the whole point.
No,
I'd
he's
count
dead in
it as
turn left.
almost Doctor
He's not
light.
like... He's not
I
like constantly with Donna and turn left.
He's not constantly with Clara either. He's trapped in the TARDIS.
Yeah,
because
and
Clara's got the TARDIS with her.
Randomiser.
No, but with how he films it, all of his stuff could be filmed on a separate day whilst he's filming something else.
Yeah, but it's still edited. We're talking about the episode camera, not behind the scenes. In the episode.
But like that is what the
Still
point of
there.
a Doctor Light is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still there. Like, he solves the problem and everything. He's still there the entire
No,
time. it's happening.
Clara solves that.
No, because he comes in and he's like,
I name you the Boneless.
the man who stops the monsters.
What accent was that then?
I'm not quite sure.
Just want me to do it for
Big
Capaldi.
I could do a Scottish accent, but people around these parts have said some very, very rude things about my Scottish accent.
Did it involve the word shank?
Just want to hear
No,
Mike
it did
Capaldi.
involve the word cunt. And
Yeah,
the
give us,
kicking in of it.
That could be a term of endearment.
give us your best
Oh, no,
Capaldi
that's-
impression.
Yeah, it could be. I
Right.
have heard the Scots.
My best Capaldi. I name you the monsters. Or whatever. The boneless.
You are a
That was worse.
fucking omnishambles.
I
That's
name you
worse
the
than your
boneless.
Eccleston.
No, well. No, it's not. It's not worse
It
than my
is.
Eccleston. It's not.
It's not
Yeah,
as bad as your Baker, though.
Fuck the fuck off. Or
Rosie Moore.
come the fuck in or fuck the fuck off.
Wait, there,
It's really easy to do a Scottish accent when you swear, though, isn't it?
I've got another
It's a shock.
got another Tom Baker line here. You ready? Symphony for Monkey Shaggers. Classic. Classic.
90
Right,
Should we
Some
do
of
a
the things Tom
randomizer
Baker
then?
said, I love.
Randomizer.
Randomizer time. Drum, keep the drum roll going. Hit that snare like Mr. Skinner. 3, 2, 1. Okay, our first one is Warrior's Gate.
What's that?
It's a Tom
not
Baker
know that.
story, broadcast on the Saturday, 3rd of January 1981.
What series? What seasons are?
Good question. Season 18. Next choice is
Another drum
Rosa.
Ah,
Rosa.
we should really do a 13th Doctor episode.
We haven't done one, have we?
Oh no, we have actually.
Timeless Children.
I won't even being sarcastic.
We did do that. I forgot about that.
It was our third episode.
I thought Dan was being sarcastic when I said we haven't done one.
Alright,
No, I just blanked it from my memory.
so yeah, Rosa is the second one, and the third one, drum roll. He's got actual drumsticks.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, it's the Husbands of River Song.
Oh,
Christmas episode, don't do it.
with our boy Greg Davies. But yeah, I'm not doing a Christmas episode.
Yeah, we're not doing that one. So it's
We'll have to do a
during
month
December.
of Christmas episodes.
which one? Considering we've kind of been going New Who, Classic Who, New Who, Classic Who. Do you want to do Warriors Gate or do you want to do Rosa?
Warriors Gate. Do Warriors Gate, yeah.
I think we should do Warriors Gate.
Warriors Gate.
Yeah.
So yes, do you want to?
Let's plug some shit.
Let's plug some
Yeah.
stuff.
I'm on Twitter at Lord Paul Lamont.
At Mr. DJR, yeah.
At Chinksy_.
We are at Shobocast on Twitter and
Shobogo.
Instagram and Gmail.
Cameron. At Shobocast.
I said that.
He said Shobogo
And-
cast.
Get your shit
Yeah.
together, Cameron.
No, that's just my inability to talk.
Okay.
Yeah. So we never
yeah,
plugged Instagram, but we're on Instagram.
Shobocast at Twitter, Instagram, Gmail,
Yeah, we're on
YouTube,
Instagram now.
podcast sites.
It's such a funny page. I don't know who runs it, but it's some of the best posts I've seen in my life. So you should check
I've
that out.
heard the Twitter's pretty funny. Sponsored by Zoom In cameras.
Scary.
I love when he goes, haven't got a zoom.
Yeah.
And it comes full circle at the end when it zooms
Oh my
in.
god, we've stopped talking about it.
We haven't, it never ends.
And on that bombshell,
It's time to
Um,
end. Thank you very much
we-
for listening.
It's
See
over.
you all next week.